All right, so this is our second week, and I am I've observed that some students are not taking the class seriously. And taking the class seriously um, means please mute yourself if you have company in the background. Mute yourself. Mute yourself. Okay. Uh, means you have to complete the assignment. I see only few students have completed quiz number 1. We are already in quiz number 2. So please complete the quizzes and do the homework assignments. And hello, Fatima. Welcome to the class. And also do the discussions. There may not be discussions every week. I extended the first week's assignment to September 4. Incidentally, because I've extended that assignment to September 4, I'm not going to discuss it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, go through um, some illustrations on how to do certain things. We are going to be using Excel for now. I'm going to introduce IPSS. But I'm going to try to find out first whether SPSS is in the lab. But you might need to purchase one for yourself. Okay. So, having said that, what is going to be my approach for today? Um, I'm just going to do a little illustration because I asked you to use Excel to plot it in chat. I'm going to get into the topic for week 2. Today, we're going to do graphical presentations of data and measures of location. Okay, that is what we have in the syllabus. Measures of location. Okay. So, one of the things that we set out to do for this class is the introduction to the statistical methodology. Okay. And we have a representation of data. Okay. We have representation of data. So today, I'm going to illustrate graphical representation. And what are the graphical representations that we are going to talk about? I'm going to see if I can start with your class. I'm going to ask for a minute. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to suspend the recording. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So, graphical representation. Okay. I'm going to show you what a sample chart would look like. Okay. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, are you seeing my chart? Hello?
No, I cannot see the chart.
I
Okay,
can see
good.
the chart.
One person says they can see the chart, one person says they cannot. So which one is true? You see the chart that say figure 1, figure 2?
No, I can't see the chart either.
All right, so I'm going to uh, save this and pull it up separately. Sure. And I'm going to share it again. You see it now? Hello?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
can see it now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is an example of what your chart should look like. Okay. Now I'm going to illustrate uh, what um, how you can make a chart. I believe many of you can, but I'm seeing also that some students have not done the assignment on making a chart. This particular chart that I have here. Okay. So this is what a chart should look like. You should have a figure number. You should have a title. Okay. And the variable labels should be very clear. Okay. I do not want to see variable 1, variable 2. I don't want to see x1 and x2 unless x1 and x2 are the defined variables. But here, I'm saying to compare Staten Island to Brooklyn. And so your chart should be very clear that this is uh, a comparison of Staten Island to Brooklyn, and then you can describe what the charts represent. Okay, so this is a good example. So I'm going to pull up one and show you again. I'm going to pull up the data. Okay. So this is your assignment. Okay, this is your assignment. And so I'm going to pull this uh, up. And let's see. We have um, all right. So what are you seeing? You are
We can't
seeing
see the chart.
what are you saying?
Right space.
You see a table.
No, we still see in bright space.
Are you seeing a table of country, region, values?
No, we are not.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up again. Okay, I know what happened. I know what happened. Okay, I know what happened. Something. So I'm going to pull it up separately. There's something wrong with the way they set this thing up, but I'll figure it out.
Professor, when you're sharing the screen on Zoom, you have to share the entire screen. So when you move from application to application, it shares whatever you're clicking on, what screen you're clicking on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Somebody has taught me something today that I'm going to learn from. I'm saying that when I'm sharing screen, I should share the entire screen. Okay, over shoulder. Okay, now are you seeing my screen now with table?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I'm going to figure out what my friend just said. So now the whole idea is for you to take this table and then paste it into Excel. And I'm going to pull out the Excel file myself. But you take this table, because I've given it to you in Word form, take it and paste it into Excel and then extract the information. So let's see how that is done. Okay. So are you seeing my Excel file now?
Yes.
That's
All right. So what I did was to take the MS Word file, put it into Excel, identify the regions, as you can see there, and you are to create this table. Okay, but my first assignment is for you to create this table and then chart, but I'm going to use the table that I created to show charts, okay? The kinds of charts I want you to create, but you are to create this table by yourself. Now, as you can see here, US trade, actually New York State trade, okay, according to region one is North America, okay, the Americas, and region two is Asia, region three is Europe, I believe, okay, and this is total trade. And so you are to create a table showing a chart showing the amount of trade by region, and then create a chart showing the amount of the percentage of trade that each region does with the United States. Okay. So now all you have to do is to paint, excluding the totals, because the totals will distort everything. Insert. You have here, you choose what kind of a chart. I prefer stacked chart. And you click on this chart. Okay. EA, Americas, Asia, and Europe. Then you move the chart. I like to move chart. Okay. I move the chart. You have to label your chart properly. You have to label your chart properly. And your chart gets into a separate chart. And are you able to see that now the chart has moved into a separate, what do you call it? Into a separate sheet?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what you're supposed to create. And then you put a proper label, like I showed you, and label the chart properly. It's already labeled here for you, Americas, Asia, and Europe. So this is, creating a chart is very simple, and I expect everybody to create a chart, okay? Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is part of today's topic, and I'm going to pull up the syllabus, it's about measurement in statistical analysis. Besides graphical representation, there are measurements in statistical analysis, and these are summary measurements, summary measures that enable you to transform data into information. Okay? One way of transforming data into information is to create a chart. Okay? And you can see, say, the percentage of trade that each country, each region provides in the United States. For example, I'll recreate this one. I'll go, excuse me. Let me share again and show you what I mean.
Professor, when you have some time, sorry to interrupt you. I have a question about the charts with the percentages. How you came
Okay.
across the percentages?
Okay.
I was a
Very,
bit confused right there with what
okay.
out of what total you're looking for the percentages.
Okay. Let us take, are you looking at my spreadsheet again? It's good that when I move to the next step, somebody interrupts me and asks a question that is going to be very valuable for everybody. If you don't ask me, it's either you're not following me or you actually are following me. And it's a tautological kind of, you know, uh, response to what just happened. Fine. So somebody says, how did you get these percentages? And it's very, very important. You can see here in 2011, okay? The Americas did $20 billion worth of trade. These are in thousands, okay? And the Asians did 31 billion, and Europe did 24 billion. The total amount of trade is what?
55 for
55.
I'm sorry, Professor, to cut you off there. I do have a question regarding that total because when I plug it in on my Excel sheet and I did the total, the equal sum, and also by just looking at it, the total it shouldn't be 55. It should be something
Oh,
else.
it should be something else, and you're perfectly correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So
Therefore, the percentage might be different though.
yeah.
anything.
You're correct. You're correct. So, I added only 2 instead of all of
Plus
it. Okay. So this
L5
is
to L8.
It goes from L6 through L8 equals some L6 through L8.
Yeah, L6 to L8.
Okay. So we have 75. So, all right. So the percentages now change. And so now how do you calculate the percentages? That's equal
L6 over
over,
total.
yes, over
Right. It should be your total of
the
2011 Americas
dollar L.
divided
Well, this is
by
what we're
your
trying to do.
total.
Well, dollar L,
Yeah.
dollar L 9. All right. By putting a dollar here, I limit this to L. Okay. And actually it should be L $6. Should be L $6 because I'm limiting to 6. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to put it. See what happens.
You're missing a parenthesis in the beginning as well. That's why it's giving your error.
Okay, thank you very much. $6 over $L 9. Actually, about L $9, not $L 9. L $9. Let us see. See what happens. All right. Something wrong with my. Okay. L $6. So L will move over L $9. Oh, this is supposed to be 9.
It's correct, Professor. It's 8.
Why is it not
It's Asia and
changing?
Europe you needed to edit.
Oh, okay. See.
So the total was good with L8.
Equals L6 9 equals some L6 9 L6 7 8. Oh, I see what happens here. This is L8. Okay, so moving down. Okay, this is L6.
When you do the drag down, it doesn't accommodate for Asia and Europe. So you'll have to enter it individually for Asia.
You can drag it down horizontally and then you'll drag it down.
Yeah, oh yeah, it works now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but it should be 100%. 6 L 9. Okay. 6 7 L 9. 8 over L 9. And so this is sum R7 through R8 is R7, R6. Okay, so now we have it. And now we can drag this down. And you can see here the total is always 100%. And so now you have the percentages, but you have to really be very diligent with the way that you enter your parameters, like the way we did it here. L6, which means we are using L6, because L doesn't have a dollar sign, that means that the L will be moving. You move from R to S, from S to T, from T to U, because the L doesn't have any dollar on it. But we are always dividing by 9. We're always dividing by 9, by this 9 here, which is L9. We have to put a dollar. We have to put a dollar on the 9 so that the 9 doesn't move, but the L will be moving. You get the idea? somebody raised that question. How did we get the percentages? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
So somebody did raise the question, and I'm trying to explain how we got the percentages. By dividing the value here for the Americas over the total, dividing Asia over the total, dividing Europe over the total for 2011. And we carried to 2012, 13, and 14. Okay, and so this is how we got these values. And you can now plot a chart and now plot a chart. This is chart number 2. And I put proper level, put proper percentages. I'm going to put the percentage here, add levels, add data levels, and I'm going to increase the size in the font. Okay, the font. I'm going to increase it to 10, right? We'll add a font color. And what I usually do is I take this, I copy it,
So, Professor, if
don't worry, you
did,
see you see what I'm doing,
okay,
right? I'll stop. Share this. I'll share something new. Okay. Now you see my new chart. Okay. You have to put a chart title, a proper chart title. And what is this? This is percentage share of trade by year. Percentage share of trade by year, by region. Okay, 2011 to 2014. Okay, you can adopt your own style. You can adopt your own style. For example, you can come in here and just make this a wider line. But this is what your chart should look like. Okay. And of course, you can adopt your own colors and what have you, but this is how we get to the number. Am I correct? All right.
Yes.
Hearing no question, I'm going
Professor,
to.
quick question, Professor.
Yes,
If we did send or uploaded the Excel file directly instead of copying everything, putting back into Microsoft Word, is that okay?
No, I like for you to take the chart from Excel and put it into Microsoft Word.
Okay, because I uploaded the Excel file instead.
That's fine. I'm not going to worry about that for now. Okay.
Okay.
Morehouse office hours 7 p.m. It's 6:15 p.m.
Professor, I do have a question. Oh my God, I just
Yeah, go
remembered.
ahead.
I just forgot what I was going to ask you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay. So once we, like I said, this is one way of transforming data into information because you see that sea of data. And let me share it again.
Oh, Professor, I'm sorry. I just remembered. So you mentioned you want us to put the charts into Microsoft Word. Do you want
Yeah.
us to include there the table, or you want to just to leave the table in the Excel, upload the Excel, and then upload the charts
I,
separately?
I would like to see the table because I want to see what where you're getting information from.
So two different files.
No, if you take that summary table, remember the summary table?
No, yes. But on your instructions, you said you wanted it to have it on the Excel. So that's why I'm asking
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like to see the Excel data too because
Okay. All
I
right.
like to see the Excel data.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Because I want to verify what you're doing. While you're at it, for example, I don't want to see this original table. It doesn't do me any good. But I want to see this one.
Perfect. Will do.
I want to see this one. I want to see the also the summary table that gives you this. Then I can actually be sure that you are doing the work. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this is just one way of transforming data into information. You saw that table of raw data. Now, if you look at that table of raw data, honestly speaking, you will not be able to make sense out of it. You will not be able to make a decision out of it. You will not be able to reach a conclusion out of it. Which region does more trade with the United States? That is a very important question. Okay. Let me pull up any of the tables when we talk about transforming data into information. You can use this table here. You can use this table, and I'm going to paint it, which will distort it. Let me paint it yellow. Okay. You can use that table to say, in 2011, the Americas did more trade or did more trade, in fact, the least trade with the United States. Okay, because they did $20 billion worth of trade compared to the Asians that did $31 billion worth of trade. You can say that. But when you're looking at this sea of data here, this original table, and I remember that it could be longer than this, not cool, it's usually longer than this. It could be 500 lines long, it could be 1,000 lines long. It could be so many more years than 2011 to 2014. Okay. You can say this is consistent because every year from 2011 to 2024, the Americas did the least trade with the United States or with New York compared to other regions. Yeah. So volume. Now, how about in percentages? Because volumes could actually distort a lot of things. So let's look at the percentages. Then when you look at the percentages, it tells the same story in the sense that the Americans did the least percentage of trade compared to other regions of the world. Okay, so you can reach that conclusion. All right, so having said that, okay, charts and tables provide you one way of representing data in statistical analysis. Okay, statistical analysis, like I said, can be applied in agriculture, it can be applied in politics, it can be applied in engineering, it can be applied in medicine, and you name it. Okay, so the next step will be to use measures, what we call numerical measures. And those numerical measures come in the form of averages and deviations. So for the purposes of this class, we are going to focus on averages that we'll call mean, and deviations, we're going to use standard deviation and variance, because standard deviation is derived from the variance, which is the square root of the variance. So let me see if I can share a little data. When we come back next time, we will really go through a full lecture. I had can you see my screen?
Yes.
Right. Now, we describe data through numerical measures, okay? And so we have what we call the arithmetic mean, we have the median, we have the mode, okay? The mean, the median, and the mode are called measures of location. Now, in calculating the mean, we also have a weighted mean, which is a very simple way of I would say, a more efficient way of reducing numerical data into means, into averages, okay? And we are going to also talk about the characteristics of means and the uses, the disadvantages of each measure of location, okay? Now, we also have another very important numerical measure, which is the mean and the variance are going to be the central focus of what we're going to do in this class, okay? So we have like a mean deviation, we have range, the variance, and the standard deviation of ungrouped data and also of grouped data. There's grouped data, there's ungrouped data, okay? We will also calculate what we call the coefficient of variation, which actually is an interpretation of the standard deviation and the applications in business. For example, the coefficient of variation can be used to measure risk. It can also be used to measure deviations in ideas. It can be an instrument of division. Okay, we can use it to measure conflict. It can be an instrument of conflict resolution. And I will explain to you why and how. Okay, we have the population mean. So in statistical analysis, as we said earlier, we differentiate between the population and the sample. Okay, suppose you wanted to make a statement, reach some conclusions about students that came to school today. And they say, what was the average time for students that came to school today? What was the average time from the time they left their homes to the time that they got to school? What was the average travel time? Okay, what was the average travel time? Okay, so now what will be the population? The population of students will be those that came to school. Not all the students in McGivers College, because everybody did not come to school. So the population will be those that came to school. Okay. Now, a sample will be a selection from the population. So you walk into 2 classrooms of 25 students each, and you ask 50 of those students, what was your travel time to school? And they each give you a number. Okay, so you have a sample. And you can use that sample to make inferences about the population. Okay? So you have a population mean, and very often we'll call this the true mean. The population mean is always called the true mean because once you count every member of the population, that there's no other mean. That is the true mean. Okay? Now, the sample mean is represented by an X with a bar on top of it, okay? We'll call that the sample mean. The sample mean will not usually be equal to the true mean except by coincidence. So we take the sample mean, and then as we grow in this study, we will find a way to use the sample mean to make inferences about the population characteristic. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to stop here because we're out of time. Because next time I want to really make an example of the weighted mean. Okay, it's very important that I take my time and provide you an example. So with regard to what we have done today, do you have any questions?
Yes, Professor, one more.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, these office hours are optional to attend, correct?
They are optional, okay?
Right. Okay.
And so you don't have to be there. If nobody comes, I will not give any lecture to empty space.
Mm-hmm.
If I have, members of the class in, I would, give a lecture, or if you prefer to ask questions, but I would like for everybody to know how to do the assignments. If I'm going to introduce SPSS in this class, I'm going to notify the whole class. And I would love for everybody to be here because if I give you assignments require you to use SPSS, I will not accept any excuses. If you cannot afford to buy it, you can always go on campus and ask them. I think they have the software on campus. It is not expensive. You can buy a 6 months or a 1 year license. 1 year license is about $50. And you can install it on 2 computers, so 2 students can agree to share one, which between $5 each. If not, we're going to use Excel to do our work for the rest of the semester. But the SPSS is a very powerful software. I can illustrate it for you. And if we choose not to use it, so be it. But I can assure you that the best way for you to succeed once you graduate is to have a lot of skills. A lot of skills. I mean, statistical analysis in this day and age is not done using Excel, believe you me. If you're doing it with Excel, you're going to involve a lot of programming. You're going to learn a lot of basic programming skills, which is much easier if you use SPSS, which is a canned software, and you can do much better statistics with it. Okay, so that's where I stand. Okay, any other question?
Where do you get the SPSS?
I will provide you a link.
Okay.
I'll provide the class a link. Even if we're not going to use it, I'll provide you the link. And I'm going to illustrate a lot of things here with SPSS.
I downloaded it and it's downloaded from IBM. So I think they have it there as well. So you can download it from there.
You can get it from there, but I think it's a little bit more expensive with IBM. The student version through other software, I'll provide you the link for it. Any other questions?
Yeah, Professor. So if I've already submitted my assignment, but I need to resubmit,
Okay.
the Word
So,
document, it's not allowing me to do it.
of course, it won't once you submit it closes. What you need to do is to send me an email, and I will clear what you have, and you can resubmit.
Got it. Thank you.
Professor, also just to clarify, I know you extended the deadline for the module 1 to September
Yeah.
4th.
Yeah.
And inside the module, this specific assignment was due on the 31st. Will
Yes.
that be fixed to just have the new deadline so it won't
No,
be affected our grade?
the new deadline will be the effective deadline.
Okay, just to confirm and so we're all on
Yeah.
the same page. Thank you.
Yes. Any other question?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for coming, and I look forward to seeing you next.
Professor, I have one question.
Sure.
Will you be going over what we have to do for this week or no?
Well, I put it this way. I would hope that we all get done by this coming Saturday. If not, then I'll go over it next week on Tuesday.
So that means you will be going over it after it's due?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you want me to go over it after it's due, yes, I'll go over it so as to reinforce, what you did, and if you have any errors, I'll correct them.
Okay, well, if you're able to go over it before it's due, I think that makes a little bit more sense.
Yes, from next week, I'm going to start to go over the assignment before it's due. So, again, that means for the week 2 assignment, I might extend it again.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right. Other questions? Right. Nice to see you all. I'll see you again next week.